Greetings, my name is Brad Wardell. I am the designer of the PC strategy game Galactic Civilizations. I'm also the product manager of a new strategy game from Ironclad called Sins of a Solar Empire, being published by Stardeck Entertainment this February. Sins of a Solar Empire is a strategy game that hopes to combine real-time strategy game action with 4X empire building. And I think, as you'll hopefully see in a moment, that we have succeeded in this. As a gamer and a game developer, what I'm hoping to do here is give you a demo of the game as a live demo. So not as a professionally polished demo that you've seen edited to death, but as a single stream demo as if you were here with me right now. So what I'm going to do is outline a few of the really cool features of Sins of Solar Empire and let you decide whether you think it's worth your time. If you want to learn more about Sins of a Solar Empire, you can visit us at www.sinsofasolaempire.com. So let me first talk about the multiplayer because I think it's particularly interesting. Because we have an open beta, we've already gone through all the pain that normally when a RTS comes out where it doesn't work multiplayer because of router and switches and all that kind of thing and firewalls, we've already gone through that pain in the multiplayer beta. And so by the time it comes out in February, hopefully it should work pretty much seamlessly. When you go into Ironclad Online, you simply press a button, create a character, join a game, and off you go playing. No fuss or anything to get it going. Another cool feature about this, though, is that unlike any game I've ever seen, at least multiplayer in an RTS, you can save your games in progress. So imagine if you and your buddies are playing playing Sins of a Solar Empire on a weekend. You run out of time because the game's you decide to play on a really big map. No problem. You can come back the next weekend, load up from the saved game, and continue playing with your friends. So that by itself opens up the game to a lot more flexibility because historically real-time strategy games have been designed so they have to play and finish within 90 minutes. That's a kind of a game designer rule of thumb. But here we can actually have maps that are both small, so you can finish in 20-30 minutes if you really have to, or just incredibly huge and where they could last months and months, and where it's almost like if you ever played Twilight Imperium or other games like that on board games, now you can have that kind of thing here. What I'm going to show you is, remember I'm doing this live, I'm not editing this, I'm going to show you a save game that I have going already. So here it goes. And I'm already in. And I didn't edit that. That's how fast it loaded for me once I'm actually in the game. So what you see here is a game in progress. And I've kind of turtled in here. That's why you see all this junk here. And a couple of the interesting things that you may notice about this interface is that the left side is my navigation bar. Because in a game like this, micromanagement is the enemy. We really have to make sure that players don't get bogged down in having to be clicking all the time. I don't know about you, but I do not like ClickFest. I want to win because I came up with the best strategy or the best tactics in a given battle. And I don't want it to be because I just don't know all the hotkeys well enough, or I just didn't click on all the special powers. I want to be able to do it all from one UI. And you can do that in this game. So as I zoom in on a particular ship, you can see what it's doing. Too bad you don't have I can't show the sound effects, or you can't hear the sound effects in here because they're pretty good. If you're running at really high resolution, the graphics are just exquisite. I'm running at low resolution because I'm videoing this, but it is really, really good. But you can zoom out, and as you zoom out, you'll see some of the ships turn into icons here, but not all of them at once. This way you can enjoy the cool graphics of the ones that are bigger and have more scale. And as I zoom out now, you can see the planet. And if I zoom out further, you'll see the gravity well. That's where ships, when they phase jump into a system, that's where they phase jump into. And if I keep zooming out there, I see a star and a couple of the planets. And there's more planets that I just can't see yet because I haven't explored. But if I was playing on a large map, this is a small map, you could literally have several different stars. And that's a game that would literally take months and months to play. Even as is, because this has got several planets in it, this would take quite a few number of hours to do. But I'm playing it single player, so it's up to me. And that's what's nice about this game is that if I am playing multiplayer, I can save it, but I can also go on and just play a really tiny map with just a couple planets, and it's like any other RTS. The game, to me, feels like a combination of Total Annihilation and Homeworld. So if you liked either of those games, you probably will like this. In some ways, it reminds me of Total Annihilation, especially because the resources in the game. There is metal and there are crystals, and you literally send over your construction ships over to construct metal extractors or crystal extractors, which then go into your resource queue here, and those allow you to build your ships and such. Now, even though you have infinite resources, you are limited by logistics. There's only so many things you can build around your planet, so you can't just go crazy around one planet. Even though you can kind of, while you can turtle in like I've done here a little bit with all these cannons around my planet, planets are ultimately limited in how much stuff you can build around them, and those things, the stuff you can build around them, is what determines how fast you can research technologies. So there's a full-blown technology tree, one for each civilization. And they are split in between military and civilian. So the civilian ones allow you to improve your overall infrastructure, such as how fast you mine resources, how much money you get from your population, and so on. The military one improves your weapons and defenses, and then what access to how many ships you have, and the number of capital ships crews you can have. And the way that's even limited is that it's based on a number of research labs of a particular type you have. So you have to make a lot of tough decisions. You can turtle in, but then you won't be able to build as much stuff around your planet of the other kinds of things, which again limits you, how far up the tree you can go. So it is really kind of nice. The balance of it is really, really cool. Now in this beta, we're still working on some of the pacing of it. And that's what's nice about an open beta is that by the time the game's released in February, will have gone through over half a year of public beta testing. So the final game is really almost like a 1.1 of a typical game, which is kind of nice. And anyone can be part of the beta. They just pre-order the game, and instead of having to wait until the final game, they can just download it right then and start playing. So anyways, if I want to attack a player, I can control all of my units just like I would in a typical RTS. Or I can use the left pane navigation thing right here, which again is really here to reduce your micromanagement. I can select an individual ship and then right click and send them off to another star system, or to another planet system, in this case the asteroid I have. If I want to take all my attack ships, I can literally select over here, and in this case, since I have to go and explore it, right click over here and off they go. Now it's not just a game about building stuff and blowing things up. You also have diplomacy, where you can negotiate alliances and treaties with other civilizations. You can build freighters and trade with them. You can even exchange culture and try to win them over through your wonderful culture. So it is a very, very in-depth game when it comes to the number of strategies you may want to employ. One of the nice things about this is that I can see exactly what's happening just at a glance. For example, I can tell I'm being attacked in this system because, in fact, speaking of which, I better go and do something about it. Because at a glance, I can see the little gray dots here, which means that there are bad guys in this system because they're not my color. And if I expand on there, I can actually see that they're the pirates, and I can look at their the ships, and I can see their health all at a single glance, and I can see which ships are engaged because they start to glow red. And if I double click on a ship, I can even go and see how it's doing. Like this one, he's going. Oh, that's my construction frigate. You need to get out of there. Run away. So there's my capital ship fighting it out. Now the battles, I tell you, the battles in this game are really awesome, and they're one of obviously the high points of the game. If you've ever watched the show Babylon 5, then you can get an idea of what the battles in this game are like, because they really remind me of that. You have Gaussian cannons and rail guns and laser cannons and all that, and they have to charge up and fire, and the ships slowly turn. Some things are on the side, like these rail guns on the side here firing over at this enemy. There must be an enemy over here. Yep. You can see him taking a beating. And it's so easy to just, if I want to just double click on a ship, it'll center in on him and I can see him doing his thing. It's just a fantastic UI. And you can imagine if I have a whole, and I'm not even having to do anything. Right now, I could, if I wanted to sit here and I can literally micromanage every single ship and tell them what to attack if I really want to. And there are times where it might be a good idea if it's a really close battle. But most of the time, the unit AI will take care of you pretty well. And the reason why that's important is that if I have 6 or 7 planets and I'm doing a key attack and I want to focus on that, and someone goes and attacks my home system, it's not a big deal because I know that my home fleet's going to probably take care of me without me having to intervene. And again, I can continue building things up just by clicking on the shipyard and queuing up things to build, and build more capital ships and some cruisers, and off they go. And they can just keep doing that while I'm occupied with other things. I don't have to pay attention to every last thing, and at a glance I can see what's going on. So if you'd like to join the beta or see what it's all about, visit us at www.sinsofasolarenempire.com. The final game will be at a retailer near you throughout North America and Europe. So visit your local Best Buy, EB, Walmart, GameStop, and so on. And we hope to see you online and Ironclad Online. Again, this is Brad Wardell talking about Sins of a Solar Empire. I hope you enjoyed this amateur quality video, and we hope to see you soon.